got a bunch of slackers on the squad.
Is anybody else coming?
Dude, I don't think so. I scrapped the last week's one just because I think we need to talk a little bit longer.
Yeah.
If no one's gonna come on, which is fine, then we should make it more of a podcast-esque. I think we should just get into it right now, and just bullshit for a while.
Riff, yeah. Riff. That's what they call it in the industry. Riffing.
Yeah. Riff. But
riff. So you go.
So I'm absolutely killing it in my bets. So on the Tennis One app, you can create your own contests and stuff. So right now, granted, I have a lot of outstanding bets. I have 12 outstanding bets right now. So they're all $5 bets. So 12 times 5 is 60.
60. Yep.
So right now, 60 plus 39. So right now I'm at $100. So I have double my money. And then obviously depending on how my bets do, I could be, down a little bit or up even 50 more bucks.
Dude, that's pretty good. What would you say, Isaac, is the biggest risk that you've taken in those? The biggest, this match is I'm probably gonna lose, but I may win.
I don't do risky bets. I only do ones. See, you create the matchup. So I will look at different lines of what betting odds, and I'll just do whoever is the favorite. I'll just do them versus the non-favorite, and I'll just spam those out there and see if anyone takes them. Sabalenka versus Coco Gauff in the semifinals of the Australian Open. Sabalenka's gonna win. I know Gauff has won in the past, but Sabalenka's so good.
She's so fucking good.
She hits the ball so hard. It's just a bad matchup for Coco Gauff. So I'm going to throw that one out there. So I did. I threw points, and then I think I did total points one and then total games one. I'm one of these is going to hit, and both of them hit.
Fuck yeah. Let's go, dude. Dude,
Easy.
She is very easy to cheer for. I watched season 2 of Breakpoint. Or parts of it. Sorry. Yeah, Mom. Good night.
Love you, Mama.
I love my mama. But I've been watching, season 2 of Breakpoint, dude. She is so likable, and incredibly talented. I think it's very interesting. Coco Gauff, for us, obviously we're ingrained in the tennis world. So are the other guys on the pod who decided to not show up tonight.
Yeah.
But for the outside world, there is, they may see Coco Gauff as they hear about Coco Gauff. Obviously, we're in the U.S. Coco Gauff this, Coco Gauff that. They don't know who Sabalenka is. And dude, she's a fucking beast. She is unbelievable.
I wouldn't say they don't know who she is.
No, dude, I will die on my grave. Dude, I went to my grandfather's grave tonight. I will die on that grave tonight. Saying that 70% of American sports fans don't know who Sabalenka is.
All right, that might be fair. But I'm not betting against just a common person. I'm betting against someone who knows tennis. You know what
right?
I mean?
No, and I know that. I'm just saying
okay.
to a point that the average American doesn't know who she is.
Yeah,
but that's excellent. That you're obviously up, and Christian, we'd love to hear back from you. We'd love to be a part of Tennis One. Me and Ike, the rest of the crew.
Dude, so I can see all the public bets what have been posted. Dude, there's no way that anyone has bet more than me on this app. There's zero chance. And dude, I'm stealing their money, man. Whoever I'm betting against, I'm stealing their money. Dude, that's what the 17, 10, and 1 is. I
figured, yeah.
They messed up on it though. I should be 17, 9, and 2. They messed up on one of them, and I did get my money back and refunded, but they didn't ever change my record. So
that's rancid.
Yeah. I think the 17, 9, and 2 sounds way better than 17, 10, and 1.
Yeah, because 9 is a single digit, 10 is a double digit. I mean, that's simple right there. Whether it's the NCAA tournament, you're looking at brackets for March Madness, single digit losses looks way better than double digit. Like that's easy said.
Yeah. And
Man.
I like the draws too. Like I think in normal sports, the draws are viewed poorly. Like people like look at them bad. I like the draw. I've been watching a lot of chess lately.
Really?
If you draw with a grandmaster or even someone slightly lower than a grandmaster, like that's a huge accomplishment. You drew with a grandmaster, one of the best chess players in the world. So if you're betting and you just push, you just get to play some free. You got to play a little free sweat. You got to have that little free sweat,
Yeah, dude, that's big time. I actually like based on you because I know you're not the smartest berry in the bush. I am re-downloading the Tennis One app right now, and I'm gonna put some bets in.
Did you rage delete it or something or what?
No, dude, I got a new phone. First one without a button.
Interesting. You got the iPhone 15 or what?
15 Pro. Which, dude, it's unreal. Like with my old phone, I had like the 10S or like the 10 SE. I loved it because it had a button. But by 1 p.m. every day, battery's down to 10%.
Yeah.
With this, dude, I've been on my phone all fucking day. I've been just degenerate today. Like done a few things, like got lunch with a guy. Clean my room, kind of. But actually, I put together this bookshelf. Look at this bookshelf. It's a good bookshelf.
Looks like it's gonna fall at any time.
You shut your fucking mouth. But was on my phone all day, and it's at 32%, which is unreal. Yeah. Please enter a valid phone number and agree to the terms. Oh, I have to agree to the terms. There we go. Gotcha. There we go.
Wait, so in your bio it says employed pending drug test and background check. Tell me about that.
So got a new job, Isaac. As we've talked about, and pissed in a cup yesterday. Felt good. Did a blood alcohol test as well. Passed that. As nervous as I was, I did not resort to taking 3 shots before drug test. So I passed that, and the drug test, we should be good. Background check, I've got 1 careless driving count against me. I turned on to a 1-way. That was, hey, it's Minneapolis. Dangerous Minneapolis. Happens to the best of them. But should be good to go start next Thursday. But have not heard back since yesterday. So,
yeah. Well, best of luck. I think the luck's on your side.
I think so too. I just put it as that because previously was as unemployed was my.
This is your LinkedIn.
Yeah, dude, it is. But let's talk Aussie Open, Isaac. What are your thoughts? I mean, Sinner, Sabalenka, really good tournament overall. But let's decompress.
Well, I think one for the females, I think Sabalenka's kind of that's not really like a surprise. I would say she was probably the favorite going into that tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So I mean, I won some money along the way with her, so I want to support her in her endeavors. I think her in the final, I also bet on that match. Not trying to bring betting into everything, but I know it just feels so good when the winner, is on the same side as you. So I'm pumped.
Yeah, I mean that's understandable.
Yeah.
And I would agree. I mean, I didn't put money on this tournament because I've been in the process of moving. But I'll say this: I mean, she's ridiculously talented, and arguably, is she? I think on the women's side, we're looking for that next player that is going to be like a Sharapova or I don't know if Azarenka is the right way to put it, but like somebody who can sustain excellence for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Is she that person? I don't know, but she's really fucking good.
Yeah.
On the men's side, really happy for Sinner.
Yeah. He crushed Djokovic.
dude, he fucked him. Like, I know you fell asleep because you're beta, but I'm an alpha. And I stayed up for the first 3 sets of that, and man, he looks so good. Granted, Djokovic played probably the worst match that he's played at a major, but who cares? I think that Sinner is the pinnacle. Like, I'm a big sportsmanship guy. And Sinner is very much like easy to root for because he is a good person. You know, there was a video that came out. Actually, Maria Sharapova posted of them singing "Deck the Halls," and it was cringy. They both are fucking horrible singers, horrible vocalists. But it's cute in the sense that, like, okay, this guy clearly is good enough and respected enough in the tennis community and in those fraternities where, like, the greats are surrounding themselves around him. And he's got a bright future ahead. Unlike somebody like Holger Rune, who's an absolute douche canoe.
Yeah, we don't like Holger. In our group chat, Sibo was, I don't know if he didn't really respond to
No, he didn't. That's Sebastian Weil,
yeah,
grad assistant for the Alabama side, for those who are wondering.
Alabama Crimson Tide.
And you know, Isaac and I basically posted a message saying, like, hey, I really don't like Holger Rune. It wasn't that PG, but I said that. And he basically asked why. Isaac responded with like 6 to 7 explanations, examples, no response. And man, wouldn't it be awesome if he were here tonight to kind of back himself up? But he's not, so he's wrong. Pussy.
Yeah. And that's tragic. The more I'm getting to know Sibo, the more I'm kind of realizing that he just has bad takes. So
yeah. Is he maybe he's not good at tennis?
Maybe I'll eat my words, but I want to play Sibo. I want to play Sibo again.
Well, I'll say this, dude, like, if you were to play Sibo, so Isaac and I played in the North Dakota Adult Championships this weekend. I was rusty as the crusty crab, man. It was brutal. But Isaac, on the other hand, was playing very well. Beat some very, you didn't have an easy draw, Isaac. You played the best players in the tournament en route to winning the tournament. And you didn't just beat them, you dismantled them. And so you're playing, I wouldn't say the best you've ever played, but like very close to. And so that'd be a good match. Obviously Sibo played for the University of Minnesota, which they cut their program. That's on you, Jerry Coyle, or not Jerry Coyle, Mark Coyle. That's your name. Screw you, buddy. If you want. Then played for the Badgers, which is awesome. If you're, hey, cut the hometown program. All right, I'll go across the state. But man, it could be a close match. And let's talk. How's that match gone in the past? I know you guys have played before.
I played him when he was in 7th and 8th grade.
Yeah, and how'd that go?
I think it was not quite a double bagel the first time we played. It was 0-1. He broke me in the second set. And then the second time we played, when he was in 8th grade, we played in the section final to go to state for individuals. And it was a 3-setter. He got way better over 1 year. And 3-setter. And he ended up getting defaulted.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Like, Sibo, obviously, like, an upstanding human. Obviously, he wouldn't be coaching if he wasn't. But a little passionate on the court, we could say. Yeah. Little emotional. And what'd you say to him after that loss?
Well, first, so it was like 3-3. I want to say it was like 3-3 in the third set. Third set to go to the state tournament. He's in 8th grade. I'm a senior. And I think he hit the ball against the net really hard or against the back wall, got a warning. And then it just kind of went boom, boom after that for him getting like, so I think I won to get up 5-3, and then he did it again, and that's where like I got that last game. So to go to 6-3. But to continue the story on, I went over I went over to him when he was sitting down, and I like just sat by him, and I was just like, "Hey, like, like you don't have to act like that out there. Like, you're way better than this. Like, you're way better than like acting like that. You probably would have like beat me if you just would have like kept your head on straight, type of thing, like that." And then the tournament director, like the guy overseeing the tournament, he like I didn't see him there, but he's just like he was like over my shoulder. He must have like snuck up from the back when I started like talking to him, maybe like thinking that hey, maybe some shit's gonna go down. And he's just like, I second Isaac. Like
So is this you trying to say you'd like to take credit for Sebastian Weil being a Division I tennis player, Power 5 D1 tennis player, and coach at one of the most successful programs in the country? I think that's due to you.
I think I may have played a part. I'm taking at least 0.01%.
Yeah. Hey, as you should. I'd also like to take credit as somebody who the first time I didn't meet him, but I watched him play Davis Lawley at the level 3 tournament. I was in 14s, Davis was in 12 still.
Yeah. So talk like the audience doesn't know who Davis is. So Davis is from Fargo.
So Davis Lawley, one of my good buddies and friend of Isaac as well. Product of Fargo's older brother Parker, excellent player. Played for South Dakota State when they had a program, state champion here in North Dakota. 3-star recruit, excellent player. But Davis, 2 years younger than me. I was better than Davis for a long time growing up, and it was awesome. It was like, I'm going to grow up. I'm going to play 1. Davis is going to play 2 at South. Like, it's going to be handy dandy. All of a sudden, Davis got really fucking good, and a lot better than me. And ended up, he played 1, I played 2. But this level 3 sectional tournament in the Twin Cities, which for those who don't know, every USTA section has a sectional tournament for juniors, where you get that many more USTA points, potentially getting you into national tournaments, zonals, all these things, intersectionals, yeah. And I had won a few rounds in 14s, but lost. Got to consolation, won a round, lost. But Davis is playing in the championship of the 12s. And he's playing against Sebastian Weil. I was in 16s. He was in 14s. That makes more sense because there was a good, until I was like 13, I was better than him. So got to take all the years I can. But Sebastian absolutely clapped Davis Lawley, who ended up going on to play at the University of Nebraska Omaha. Very, very good player. Was recruited by, Michigan State, Iowa when they had a program, Navy, I believe. But yeah, went to UNO, was all conference a couple of years. And SIBO absolutely clapped him. And I was like, oh, this kid's like 4 feet tall, but like pretty good. He does not miss. And so that was my first exposure to SIBO. He was very, mild-mannered on the court, which most people would be if they're winning a match 0-0. But I digress. But
do you think SIBO's a high energy coach?
I would imagine. I think knowing SIBO now, like he very much like is somebody like just through our conversations on the podcast, like he cares about the guys, like he cares about us. And by that I can tell he cares about the guys that he's coaching. Like he's high energy. He may, he'll let out come on, for his boys. He'll let them know when they're not playing well, but also he's constructive, I'm sure, which is important. Like, I don't know about you, but I think the best tennis coaches are folks who like are invested as much as the player is. But they realize that, hey, what I'm doing is not going to fully impact what the player's doing. However, those conversations that I have with the player on those changeovers, focusing on those things they can control, like their attitude, their footwork, and their focus. That's everything. And I feel like he's big on that. He's somebody that can get his guys to not only buy into what he's saying, but into being passionate about what they're doing.
Yeah. Do you think Sibo's a coffee drinker?
Coffee drinker. Yeah, probably. I mean, who isn't?
Yeah. Are you a coffee drinker?
Big time, dude. I drink so much coffee.
Do you use a Keurig or do you roast your own stuff?
So I got a Keurig. I actually got some ice stuff in here right now. Just Dumb Brothers, which is tough to come around these days. But left over from the cities.
Mm.
Why do you ask?
Well, I recently got a new coffee maker, so not a Keurig. We retired the Keurig, and
was it like a nice Keurig, or was it like an old school?
It was old school where you poured the water in and stuff. Probably like $100 Keurig, nothing special. We got a $60 coffee maker where you put the ground coffee, pour the water in there, and it drips down. So then it drips over the coffee grounds, and then it makes your coffee. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've made coffee like that?
Yes. That is. Yeah.
So, we're getting hooked up with a discount code, Dakota Roasters. So they're out of Minot.
Yep.
So I convinced Carrie, she's one of the owners. I was like, yo, if we can utilize, because they have a promo code section on their final page. I'm like, yo, give the boys a promo code. So use promo code tennis and get $1 off your coffee. So we'll see if it's updated. Well, I don't know if she's updated it yet, but yeah.
So I've heard of Dakota Roasters, nothing but good things. And you and I both love small business and also supporting local business.
Oh, yeah.
And man, what an incredible offer. Coffee, this Dumb Brothers stuff, like it's iced, it's fine, it's good, it's coffee, but it's not local. And good golly, man.
Well, technically, their coffee isn't local either. They ship that stuff in from like South Africa. I mean, the coffee beans come from other awesome countries. We're not growing anything local.
It's not ground in North Dakota. I'll tell you that. Dakota Roasters is.
No, but they do make it. They ship in the coffee beans, all that.
Dakota Roasters, baby.
Selfishly, I asked for the discount because we're not getting anything from it. But I asked for the discount for myself just so I can get $1 off every time I order because I order it anyways.
Dude, so we cut this? But
here, one moment, so good. Well, we're back. We're back. We had to discuss some inner
commerce relations.
But yeah, so anyways, go to Dakota Roasters. And then when you're checking out, promo code just tennis, easy as that. Tennis, you'll get $1 off a bag. I've bought a few different times from them out in Minot, North Dakota, and the stuff is super good. So that's why I asked. I was like, hey, do you think we could get a discount for this? And she's like, yeah.
If you like Starbucks and if you like Caribou, this stuff's like 10 times better.
We were talking about like the parts per million. Like there's she's able to send them to get tested and have a certain whatever, and their coffee's by far the best. It's the most coffee rather than
pure.
Water.
It's pure.
Yeah.
I mean, Starbucks isn't doing that. Dakota Roasters is Sabalenka, and Starbucks is who's somebody that sucks right now? Zverev, even though he made the semis, he sucks. So Dakota Roasters, get it.
Well, not trying to keep the coffee train going, but I do want to share. I'm very I like finance. I like money, personal finance specifically. So the cost analysis of buying a bag from Dakota Roasters, which is $13 a bag, is usually what you get. Sure. You buy 3 bags and you get free shipping.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, $13 a week. I with Lex, we go through about a bag a week. Before, she was spending about $12 on K-Cups. I was spending about $12 on the pre-made just cold brews.
Mm-hmm.
So we're saving double the money per week, which is about $12. I know it's not a lot, but $12 a week over a year, you know?
Yeah. But in return, you're getting great coffee, you know?
Yep. And supporting local business.
Smell my breath. Great coffee.
Breathalyzer,
by the way.
That's a breathalyzer?
Dude, yeah, I bought one back in college, like just for like, the hell of it, like going out, like want to like know, like, you know, hey, can I drive or not?
Yeah.
And I found it the other day when I was unpacking. So yeah, it's you blow. Pretty standard.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you excited for we're gonna be starting? I don't even know if we should say this on a public podcast, but we're gonna be starting after hours tennis session.
Sunday nights, baby.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing some stuff. I'm excited for that. It'll be
I'm stoked. So it's gonna be myself and Isaac, who not many people know, but we were the most winningest team in the MIAC for a couple of years. And Oliver Summers, who is the head tennis pro at Courts Plus Fitness in Fargo, North Dakota, incredible tennis player, could have played D1 over in the States, but chose to play for Portsmouth College in England. And Logan Sandberg, who is probably the best one singles player that can court his head since Isaac. And so it's going to be fun. 9 p.m. Courts Plus on Sunday evenings. Isaac, I'll be honest with you. I'm stoked for this. I just want to make sure the sauna's still working after these matches. I'm big on the sauna grind these days.
Ooh, that entices me. I've been listening to a lot of Joe Rogan, and he's always a big
sauna guy.
Yeah, he's a huge sauna guy.
Like, dude, there's nothing better. Like, so after this tournament, I was sore as fuck. I haven't played tennis since like September, like in a boot, blah, blah, this and that. But man, I was like old Helen Yeller out there, except instead of blind, I was crippled in other parts of my body.
Old Helen Yeller.
Old Helen Yeller.
Old Helen Yeller.
But I went to the sauna the last couple mornings, and man, it makes you feel so much better.
Yeah. Supposedly it's I couldn't even give you the science behind it, but I think a lot of our ancestors, like I don't think it's like the Finnish, Swedish people, Germans. People up in those countries up there. Apparently they saunaed quite a bit back in the day.
I mean, so from what I've read, done a lot of research on this, and it's good for your complexion. It's good for muscle healthiness. And it is very good for releasing toxins, whether that be, bad eating habits, alcohol, weed. It's good for everything.
You're saying it just like comes out of those pores? You just sweat it all out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that if you go down to the OB, the old Broadway, Fargo's finest bar, and have 8 beers that an hour honestly get them out, but you're gonna feel better.
You're probably gonna get dehydrated.
Actually, yeah. If you went to the sauna right after going to the bars, you'd probably pass out because it does dehydrate you. But
someone listens to this and just goes and just dies on your dime.
Yeah, we are not medical professionals. I should preface. But it feels really good. But back to the point, this doubles is going to be very exciting. How do you feel about Isaac? Obviously, you and I both played competitive tennis in college. What do you think keeps you going with playing competitive tennis? One thing that is very common is guys will play college tennis, and they'll leave the game right after. But you're still playing. So am I to an extent. Why do you do it?
Well, one, I like to compete at different things. So like board games, I like to compete if we're playing like spike ball, really any sort of game. If we're doing like trivia, I like to compete. I like to win. And then I don't think I've ever overdone it. I've never done it past the point where I didn't want to do more. So I think my limit's really far. Like I think I could really, really play a lot of tennis before I got burnt out. But I think people just, when they start doing it against their will, that's when they stop playing in the long run.
Yeah, and that brings me to my next question. Like, Why do you think there are so many? As somebody who I lived in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul for, a number of years, and so many guys, and I should mention the Twin Cities has a much stronger tennis population and talented tennis population than Fargo-Moorhead does. Why do you think so many high-level players quit the game after playing in college?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just you put so much time into one particular thing for so long, and then um, when you don't have to do that thing, it's just like, well, like, do I really want to keep on doing this thing? And I think people have different priorities and they want to see different things. That's my
Yeah, but I
perspective.
would argue, you put a lot of time into tennis, didn't you?
Yeah, but I mean, I think there's levels to it.
How so?
I think like professionals, for example, like if you're a professional, let's say basketball player or a professional, I don't know what, like even like table tennis, I think you could say, like, or chess. Like when you're competing at the highest level and you're just the best of the best, like that's your expectation for like how you should compete. So if you fall back and you're not practicing every single day for a few hours and you're not at that same level where you're competing, I think it's like hard for them to like go out there and compete and not be like where
Right.
they should.
Yeah, I would agree with you, but I also think it comes down to this. So many folks in these, I'll call them tennis condensed communities, or where tennis is very prevalent, or there's a competitive scene like the Twin Cities. They play starting age 9 or 10. They play tournaments, and they see these kids who are going to go on and play Division I tennis, maybe even some pro. They continue to do that. That's the lifestyle. They go to zonals. They do everything. That's awesome. There's a lot of pressure with that. Same thing with college, whether you're playing in the MIAC Division III, whether you're playing in the Big Ten Division I, that is a lot of pressure. And I think tennis is a unique sport because obviously, you're on a team in college and in high school, but it's individual at the end of the day. And I think so many of these guys get burnt out from it that they're like, once it's done, they're like, fuck that. I want to enjoy life.
Right.
And so the fact that we're still playing, I think it comes down to a couple of things. One, we enjoy the sport, but two, we think it's fun. That's one thing that I think even the highest level of players oftentimes lose sight of, is that tennis should and is a very fun game.
Yeah. You know what was in my head over the last couple of days?
What?
So like when we were telling Porter and I think we were telling Sowie about how I questioned that line call,
Yeah.
So I was thinking more about that. I was like, I don't think it should be looked poorly upon when questioning a call. Like I think that's where the gentleman's game comes into play, right? So like let's say you're playing Monopoly, David.
Yeah.
And you see someone steal $100 from the pile, but they do it very discreetly, and you're like, what the heck? You can't just steal $100, right? You're gonna call them out on it because it's why.
I mean, it's convenient for them.
Yeah, because it's beyond the rules of the game. You can't do that. So if you transfer that over to tennis and you see someone do something outside the confines of the rules of the game, it starts to make the game not fair, right?
Sure. Yep.
So why is that a bad thing to kind of call out?
I would say, and this is a great conversation, Isaac. I come from the perspective of tennis. Yes, it's a gentleman's game. Have I been very ungentlemanlike at times when playing the sport of tennis? Absolutely. So have you. So has everybody at some point. If you're not, you're fucking lying to yourself. But man, like, unless you're playing somebody who is trying to critically hook you or do something wrong, and I understand your comparison. They are doing something that's wrong. But what if they don't know that they're wrong? What if they don't know that they are wrong? Let's say you're playing somebody who you know that you are very, you've played at a higher level. You've hit balls at a faster pace. Because there is a difference between high school tennis and college tennis and pro tennis. Even at, the Division III level, when you're playing, in those 1, 2, and 3 spots, balls are going to come in a lot more heavier than they are at, the 1 spot in high school tennis. More topspin, more pace. And that person that you're playing against has just jumped onto that scene.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't know that. They're not going to see things the same way that you have. And because of that, like, if you're not aware of that, you're delusional.
Right.
Am I calling you delusional? No, maybe a little bit. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that point. I think that is a good point where, hey, if I didn't, because what you're saying essentially is you're playing against someone who doesn't have the level of you. So when they can't see the ball because they're physically not trained, they haven't seen that sort of a fast or spinny ball, that you should give them the benefit of the doubt because they can't see or serve.
Well, I'm saying not necessarily the benefit of the doubt. I'm just, yes, but also I think there's better ways to communicate it than maybe what you did. I think.
Yeah. So I'm saying in general though. So, okay. So the execution of the communication, right? How would you go about it? Because I don't think you would have done anything.
No, I wouldn't have, because I'm a pussy ass bitch. But if you were to, and granted, for those who, we were up, I think 5-0 at the time. Oh, coppers are here. They heard me say the P word.
That's so funny. I heard the little blip. This is gold.
This is the police.
Dude, we're gonna know what. Do you think they're gonna get a DUI?
Dude, yeah, what's the scene? Dude, can you open the window? I want to see this.
You can, or you want to see it wide?
Dude, I want to see the full scene.
Is that good?
Yeah, okay, so there's a cop and a car.
Yeah. That
brings us to our next commercial. This is brought to you by Heineken Zero. If you ever feel like getting fucked up and driving, just drink Heineken Zero. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
But back to your point, Isaac. If you're up in a match by a significant amount, no, you don't need to bring it up.
Okay.
I will say, if you are going to communicate it, I would just say that ball was clearly in, or like, listen, like, that ball was in, which isn't that different than what you said. So maybe I am agreeing with you in a sense, but I think I was just rattled because I haven't, like I said, I haven't played a tournament in a year. Because I haven't, because of that, I haven't seen like conflict on line call.
And that's the thing is, like, so the only 2 times that I'll ever question balls is when I'm 100% sure that I'm right. That's really the only time I do it. Or if I know I was 100% right in the match earlier and something happens where it's close again and I'm frustrated, then I'll do it again.
But I think, and I don't want to put
words in your mouth. It only happens if I know there's at least one.
Right. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm assuming you made noise in this match that you're talking about that I was your doubles partner in because you knew it was in. And I did too, Isaac. It was inside the line, like a good, 3 inches maybe inside the line. And I was standing at the net, so I was closer than you were. The reason I didn't say anything was because there's no way in hell you're going to get broke in that game. And we were up by a very much, a healthy amount. And so I was like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But I understand I wasn't the one serving, so it means more to you.
Right. And honestly, it's more so just like that sort of fact. It's like, hey, we're playing beyond the rules of the game now because this was missed. You know what I mean? Like, essentially, that's all I'm trying to get at is hey, that ball was like what I said was that ball was 100% in. That's what I said. And quote, that ball was 100% in. And then that's all I said. That ball was 100% in, and I went and served again. And I said there's no effect on me. I didn't double fault. I wasn't pussy minded where I was going to double fault the next ball and be so rattled that the call was out. No. And then we won the next point. Didn't matter.
Yep. Yeah, and that's fair. Like, I think that, and yeah, that probably had a mental effect on the guys we were playing too, which, like, granted, we're older. And I don't want to say they look up to us, but in a sense, like, they knew that we had a successful run in our college days. And so, and they're younger. So, like, yeah, it probably did. But I have no problem with that, like, with what you did, because I know you, and that, like, that's very much you're able to do, say that and then get over it, and like they could hit a winner the next shot and you'd say, nice shot. But unfortunately that isn't the case for everybody. And I'm not saying that's, means for you to change your behavior, but it may come off as unique to other people.
Yeah.
Because of the norm.
I had felt the realization of that, when it got brought up. I'm like, oh, okay, like not everyone sees this the exact same way as me. So I was like, hey, this is gonna be an interesting topic to talk about.
Yeah, well, it's unique, Isaac, because like some people, like, you're not somebody to hook. I've never seen you hook intentionally, but a lot of people, for those who are listening or watching, Isaac hit a serve that was like, is very much in. Cops are still out there. And a lot of people, Isaac, would, next point or sometime later in that game when there's a close point, they would call a ball that's very much in out. They would retaliate. And that's shitty. If you do that, like, I remember senior year, St. Scholastica, Carter Steffes and I were playing doubles. And we called the ball out. It was very much out. The guy just, I don't know if he was Ole Helen Yeller or Stevie Wonder, but he got really pissed. I hit an ace it wasn't just like on the line. It was like a good 6 inches inside the line, and he called it out. We ended up beating him like 8-2, so it didn't matter because he sucked at tennis and their team sucked at tennis. But you see that, like, retaliation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think something that could decide the outcome of, a match I think it always should be at least brought up.
Yeah.
And if it was done maliciously, like, so this is how I would have handled the situation. One, I don't think that would have happened if it were me. I think I always give the benefit of the doubt. So maybe that plays in my mind a little bit too, is like, I always try to play fair. Like, I always try to play lines fair, I should say.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm always going to play mentally fair with my opponent, because sometimes I like to fuck with them a little bit. But I don't know.
I've noticed that with you, like, sometimes, and you're cerebrally intact. You always know the score. But sometimes when I've played you, you'll ask the score. If I'm up 40-30, you'll be like, it's 40-30, right? And something as little as that can, like, I'm sure for you that's like a mental tactic.
It's for me. Okay, so sometimes I actually don't know the score. It's for me just to verify the score. So I can't always say it is, but if it were like 30-40, generally, like, we're into the game, I probably know the score, right?
Yeah, no,
sometimes
I know.
when I first start
like,
the game, I get
a good mental tactic, because, like, if you say that to me and I'm serving, I'm up 40-30, that could put into my mind, like, fuck, if I lose this point, we're going to deuce. We're going to deuce, and if it's no ad, that's a game point for him. You get what I mean.
I see what you're saying, and I can't say I've never done that, because I definitely have done that. But I also do think, like, my brain, and I wouldn't say I would say I have a good tennis brain, and I probably could have utilized it a little bit better, but I'm always thinking of the next point. So I usually forget kind of what I've played. So if you're ever like, hey, no, like that's not the score, like this is actually the score, and you brought me to the net, I don't think I would be able to name any points of what happened in the
Yeah, it's tough because you think about it, but like, and you know about it, but it doesn't, comprehend.
yeah.
Let's take a minute-long break because I got to take a piss.
I say we wrap it up there, Dave. No, 45 minutes.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Folks, Dakota Roasters coffee. Don't drink and
Yeah.
drive.
Get your buck up.
What do we think this guy behind us is getting?
To kind of give it a wrap up.
Isaac, I got to pee so bad.
All right, go. I'm gonna stay out here just for the soul. Oh, they turned off and they left. All right, that's the perfect way to end the video. Bye, Dave.